Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. This is part 2 of performing an ignition system tune-up on this 1986 Camaro IROC Z. Pretty much the same as any 82 to 92 Camaro or Firebird with either a 305 or 350 V8. And once again, the tools you'll need are tape and a marker, jack and jack stands, T20 Torx driver, 1/4-inch socket with ratchet and extensions, and small flat blade screwdriver. So we had left off part 1, and we had put the coil back on and the cover. Now we're just going to take the new bolts that come with the distributor cap and force them into the cap and thread them in. And once you do that, they won't fall out. They're just in there, and so that when you put the cap in, it's much easier. You don't want to try and have to thread these in while you're underneath the hood. Okay, now our cap does have a little guide tooth right here, so it will only go onto the distributor correctly one way. Okay, now we're going to install the cap onto the vehicle and just basically start it in the same position. We know that all the connectors were over towards the driver's side. Put it down in. Make sure you don't pinch any wires between the cap and the distributor housing. Then just kind of press it down and try and spin it back and forth, and that guide tab and groove will come together. Okay, and I'm going to fast forward here as I start all those 1/4-inch bolts and with a 2-inch extension, then tighten them up. When you tighten them, you want to be very careful. You want to make them snug, but you don't want to over tighten them, which could crack the cap and then cause running problems. And now I'll just switch over to the longer extension and do that bolt near the injection. And now here, a little hard to see, but I am plugging the leads back in. You want to first plug the black lead, which is the dual prong that goes towards the inside of the distributor cap. Plug that in, and then you plug the other 2 leads. On this vehicle, the darker lead goes towards the front, and then the lighter lead goes towards the back. Okay, so now what I've done is I've taken and I've laid out my distributor cap with my old wire still on it. You can see I've got this one labeled as 8, so I matched up a wire the same length. I label it down near the engine side as number 8, and I did that for all the wires. And the reason I label it down near the engine side is because you're going to stuff those down through the engine and then get underneath, and you want to be able to see the labels clearly. You'll notice I also marked both sides. Okay, so for example, this is sitting pretty much the way it is in the car. I'll do this one first, which is right next to where everything plugs into the coil. So this is number 2. So I'll just take number 2. And now plug it into the same position here. Actually have it go around back. It's going to want to go around front here. Okay, and then number 2 comes around here. Okay, and just keep repeating that. Okay, this is number 7. Okay, on the other side of the coil input. Okay, and then I'll just repeat that for all the wires. Okay, rather than watching me route them, I'm just going to do a series of still photos here to show you how to route the wires correctly. In this photo, the yellow arrow is pointing to the number 8 wire. This is the passenger side of the motor, so that wire just runs down by itself the back of the engine and then hooks to the number 8 spark plug. And then the 2 red arrows, the upper one just shows you where they route. The lower one is another clip that attaches to the engine, and then those 3 wires go down and go to their respective cylinders. Now here in this video, the yellow wire, this is just the driver's side, and right above there I believe is the brake master cylinder. So the all 4 wires just go down the back of the engine and between the 2 wiring harnesses. Okay, now looking from below, you can see on the bottom right hand corner, that's the oil filter, and there is the clip that hooks onto a little bracket on the engine. It holds all 4 wires as they come down. You can see the red arrow points to the number 7 wire. It goes right to its plug there, and then the yellow arrow points to that clip. So the number 7 wire is hooked up to its spark plug, and then the 3 other wires continue down and they hook into a clip that's on the side of the engine. That's noted by that red arrow right there. Okay, in this shot we're looking at the passenger side from the front of the car. We're looking up at the number 2 spark plug noted by the red arrow, and then the green arrow is pointing actually to the number 4 wire, and what that wire does is it kind of comes forward and then loops around and back to the spark plug. Okay, and now we'll speed through just putting that cover back over the distributor with the 3 T20 Torx screws. And now reconnect the battery. Okay, now we'll do a little test. Start the engine up. Ran a little rough at first, probably more due to the fuel system, but everything seems to be working well.
We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.1aauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll-free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.